People standing at the back, please shift that side. We have some space left over there. No one should be standing. Please settle down. Check, check, check. Good evening and a warm welcome to everyone present here. Vista 2022 presented by ITW Universe, co-presented by Bank of Baroda, powered by Avendus, welcomes you all to the Elite Speaker Series. Today, we are highly delighted to welcome Mr. Boman Irani. He is an Indian actor, voice artist, screenplay mentor, and photographer. As an actor, he works primarily in Hindi cinema and theatre. He joined the theatre in his late 30s. Okay, sir, let me tell about the movies that is very close to our heart. So, Mr. Irani became a household name for his role in the 2003 comedy drama Munna Bhai MBBS and has not looked back ever since. Mr. Irani received several awards and tremendous acclaim for his performance in blockbusters such as Lage Raho Munna Bhai, Main Hoon Na, Houseful, Don't Do, Happy New Year, and of course, 3 Idiots, and many more. He recently launched his production house, Irani Movie Tone, and he mentors budding writers under his writing workshop, Spiral Bound. Mr. Boman will share his views on the topic, why should a career not be a race? Welcome, sir.
Today, we also have with us Dr. Raghunath, who's the chairman of the South Asia Board of Academy of International Businesses. Sir was also a visiting scholar at the Graduate School of Business at Stanford University from 1990 to 1991. He serves as an independent director on the boards of many corporations and academic institutions. Welcome, sir. We would also like to extend a welcome to Professor Saurav Mukherjee from IIM Bangalore. He'll be moderating the session with Mr. Irani. He's a faculty member in the operations sector and human resource management. He's completed his PhD from IIM Bangalore, and he's currently serving as the Dean of Alumni Relations and Development. Welcome, sir. For today's session, we'll have an interactive panel with our professors and Mr. Irani for around 35 minutes, followed by Q&A from the audience. So please, over to you, sir.
You want to sit or stand? You don't want to stand. Okay, okay. All right. All right. Good evening to all of you. You don't know how nervous I am standing here, right? So yeah. So the topic for today is why career should not be a race, right? So you have been put on the other side, Mr. Mr. Irani. So any thoughts on that? That's an introduction to the topic. How do you look at the career, not career?
We'll take our time till the mic doesn't believe in life is a race itself. So it's taking its own sweet time. But please don't go by my career because I'm like a tortoise. So we'll talk about that later. I believe I've got lots of thoughts on it, but let's hear something from you. Can I come closer to you? There's only Professor Saab, tame besi jao. Do you all know that Professor Saab, do you know Professor Saab speaks so very fluently in Gujarati also? खरी बात
बराबर एब्सोल्युटली बराबर
अरे एब्सोल्युटली इंग्लिश में आई वो साहब
एकदम बराबर છે.
Ekdam barabar hai. Hamara professor sahib. Yes, Saurabh, you take a mic and come to the center. Let's face the, is this the same room that we did that famous scene? Is this, which one? Yeah, Chamatkar was here. You all are such a polite crowd because you all said Chamatkar and not Balatkar. I'm most. Okay. This is also the same room where the three of the bunch, and I said something like, as expected. Something to the tune. Let's go. You mind if I stand? Huh? No, it's okay. Okay, let's go. Professor Saab, Mukherjee Saab, go for it. Start shooting those questions.
So the first question, what is your response to that career should not be a race?
Look, we're all animals, right? Yeah, I didn't mean. And we're all different kinds of animals. Each of us has his own way of blooming, blossoming, falling, learning, and they make their own timelines. There cannot be one timeline. The timeline that suits you cannot be the timeline that suits me. Definitely not. There was a kid in our school called Roger. All right. And he was a violinist. He was this high, all right? And he could play the violin. And I heard the first time I heard the word prodigy. I was a kid myself. Now, what the hell? He's a prodigy. Now he's a prodigy. What can you do? And he used to be the क्या हो रहा था उसकी उंगलियों में उसका हाथ कैसे चल रहा था? How at an 8 or 9 can someone know how to play the violin like that? He's come with his own timeline, right? And then there are some who are academically inclined. And then there are some who are artistically inclined. And maybe in institutions and schools, I think the artistically inclined, may not get their space. Now, sports people, Sachin Tendulkar became a sportsman at the age of 17, representing at the age of 17. He has made his own timeline. Why? Because each of us, we're different animals. Some fly early. The eagle flies in a different way than the sparrow or the hummingbird. So I make my own timeline. Nobody tells me when I'm supposed to study or when I'm supposed to fall in love, get married, choose a career, settle down. I'll make my own timeline. And I think so should you. However, when you're in an institute as prestigious as this, and God bless you all, I don't know about student loans and what that entails really. You might have some responsibilities. So you might need to make money at a different pace from somebody else, somebody like me or somebody like a person who's learning how to be an actor, learning how to be a singer or doing riyaz. So, well, it doesn't mean that when you say life is a race, isn't a race, it means that take it easy. It means that maybe the craft that you are searching or hunting or yearning to achieve takes its own time. It doesn't mean we say, Acha, chalo, theek hai, let's kick up our shoes and let's go to the Caribbean and relax. And life is not a race, so let's relax. No, I'm not saying that in the least. All I'm saying is find your want. That's what we learn in screenwriting. Find your want and then go for it, no matter how long it takes. When I do sessions with actors, I do a lot of sessions with writers, and we'll come to that later. Professor Saab will throw some light on that. When I do sessions with actors, I beg your pardon. The first question I ask is, what is it that you want to do? I want to be a star. Okay. You're in a hurry. You're in a hurry. Life will become a race for you. And it's not in your hands, just by the way, to be a star. You can't make anybody into a star so easily. But if you tell me I want to be an actor, it might take you years. But remember, if it takes you years, you will be an actor for years and years. Being a star is ephemeral. It depends on you. It doesn't depend on the guy who wants to be a star. It depends on you who decide to make him a star or not. Not even a producer can do that. Otherwise, every producer's kid would be a star, right? A producer can give you a break. A director can give you a break. But you can't be a star of your own volition. Some people do, but eventually it's what they see on screen and say, I like this guy or this girl, or he acts very well, she acts very well, but something doesn't quite work for me. And you may be the greatest actor, but being a star is never in your hands. But being a working actor, you can be a working actor for the rest of your life. And that's what I mean by life should not be a race. Take your time. Don't worry. There's no hurry. I'm talking about actors, but even in your world, everybody wants to be. You'll be in business, I'm assuming, right? Right? How do you know when you're going to make? I'm going to make my first million by the time I'm 21. Yeah. Yeah, really? Take your time sometimes. Absorb, become stronger. Make your craft your strength. But you have to back it up with some kind of want. What is it that you want? You have to decide on that. I decided on my want when I was a little kid. I didn't know it myself. Can I burst into a little story here? Yeah. I was a little kid, 9, 10, 11, 12, maybe even earlier than that. Everyone says, which is the first movie? I said, my first movie I watched from my mommy's womb. पेट के अंदर से देखा था मैंने. I used to go and watch a movie every day. And because I was not academically inclined, my mother used to send me to, she understood that when I got onto stage, I become a different animal, talking about animals, right? And she saw that, saying academically, uska kuch hone wala nahi hai. Because I was dyslexic and I had dyscalculia. I still do. And in the good old days, they used to call this condition duffer. Yeah. Thank you, Amir Khan. I believe he was here yesterday and he gave us Tare Zami Par. So I think he needs a big round of applause because some kids have learning disabilities. What are you going to do with that? You can't push. Life can't be a race for them. Today, imagine this kid who couldn't string a sentence together. I'm teaching at the age of 63. So life cannot be a race. Life cannot be a race. So I used to go and watch movies every day. There was this one particular movie, Professor Saab. I'll walk around. I feel odd standing in one place. There was this one particular movie I saw 37 times in the theater. It's a movie called Funny Girl. Very unfunny movie. Sad movie, depressing movie. And I, like an 11-year-old, used to catch a bus all the way to the Strand Cinema in Bombay and go and watch that movie. And the doorman used to ask me, hey, idara, Chotu, idara. The picture samajh mein aata hai kya tere ko? Yeah. And I honestly couldn't understand the whole movie. But I used to hang in there. I didn't understand the movie. That was my calling in many ways. There was a shot of Barbara Streisand, and she walks into the screen with they show a shot of her feet like this, and then that's the theater, all right, the New Amsterdam Theater in New York, and she stood like this with a nice starry clothes, and then the public used to go into the theater, and Mohan. The public used to go into the theater and she used to walk this way and go behind an alley into a little gully and go in and enter from the artist's entrance, right? And then she was a sad story, sad person. And suddenly she'd go on stage and she's making everybody laugh. And then she'd come and say, yeah, what's happening next? You know, and then Dara, the doorman, Dara, I remember his name. He used to say, "Teru kuch samajh mein nahi aata." I said, "Nahi samajh mein aata, kya karu?" Lekin something is drawing me to this, like a butterfly to the flame. Many years later, I did my first play. That's okay. Love you too. I did my first play at the age of 35. Life is a race, right? At the age of 35, I did my first play and I got a role for 3 minutes. 3 minutes, 200 rupees. And please don't be embarrassed just because Professor Saab is sitting over here, but I'll tell you what my first ever role character was. It was a pimp. Please clap. I was a pimp. What are you clapping for, mister? The pimp is a dukandar. Sorry, I didn't realize the kids are here. Sorry. It's okay, they know more than us. And I got that 3-minute role, and I said, "This is my chance." It's like what you guys say, elevator pitch. So I just kept practicing and doing that one number, 3 minutes in a musical. And I practiced and practiced. Bruce Lee said, "I don't fear the man who has 1,000 kicks. I fear the man who has 1 kick." And he practices it 1,000 times. I said, "Yeah, like my ting, 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 ting." I kept kicking my way till my life became, metaphorically, of course. And then comes a day of opening night, and all my eggs are in this basket. I get onto the stage, and till then, the audience, some of them had even died. And I'm saying, how am I going to do this? And I get onto the stage and said, no, I've practiced too hard for it. And I'm going to close my eyes and not worry about the audience reaction. Just stay within the soul of the character and go do the Bruce Lee thing. And suddenly there was an ovation. And I'm standing there in the middle of the stage. The public is clapping away. Ah! I say, yeah, not bad. Arshad Varsi is the choreographer. This is before Munna Bhai, by the way. He's standing over there. He's standing over there. And I'm not leaving the stage. Sab log taaliyan maro. Just practice thoda taaliyan maro. Arshad is saying, on, shut up, man. They are clapping. I did not want to leave the stage. Why? Because my elevator pitch was superb, right? And I said to myself, that day I realized why I saw Funny Girl 37 times. Because I wanted to enter from the artist's entrance. Imagine if I said I'm going to do this at 21. Yeah, become like Shah Rukh Khan. Yeah? What? You think would that suit me? Yeah, why not? So this is my little take on sort of. Can I call you sort of? Yes. It's Mr. Irani from you, okay? This is my little take on, and we'll keep talking about why life shouldn't be a race. But this is what it is. At 37 or 35, I'm really bad with numbers. I'll keep changing the numbers. I don't remember my room number, believe it or not. Mohan has to keep telling me, room number. Sometimes I go into the wrong room purposely. But what are you clapping for, man? So that's my little take on life, why life shouldn't be a race. And we can continue talking about it. But if you have another question to ask, Professor.
Okay. So I have something associated with it because our students, most of who are here, are very competitive. I mean, they have come here through a lot of competition. So associated with race is always the notion of competition.
Right.
Now, in your career, have you faced or have you felt ever the pressure of competition, and how have you dealt with that?
You're not going to believe this, but none, zero. The only person you're going to satisfy first is yourself. And I don't know any other way to do it. Because Paresh Rawal, am I going to say I'm going to do better than Paresh Rawal? Or Nazruddin Shah? You know these guys? Anupam, Om Puri, Irfan. Where's the competition? The thing is, I can't be like them because, again, we are all different animals. We all have our different timelines. We all have our different paces. And we all have a different thing and a different quality to present to the world. All we got to do is support each other with the quality that we have. So believe it or not, when Munna Bhai came out, who are the first guys to call me? Paresh, Anupam, Nasir, Om ji. Ay yaar, bahut maza hai. How can you compete with these people? You're supposed to encourage each other. We can't wait to work together. This is what they said to me. Why am I trying to obliterate a competition? For what? Because someday, as Tennyson said, the old order changeth, yielding place to new, and the same thing would happen to me. So these guys are artists. I can't compete with artists. I can only learn from them. And when I stand on stage or in front of the camera with them, believe me, my work looks better because of them. If I drop the ball if I focus on outdoing them. I'll drop the ball. I'll drop being the character that I'm playing. And that's abusing your talent and the fact that you are such a lucky person to do the thing you love to do. So in business, I don't know how it is like in business. It can be cutthroat, but I know a lot of people who are extremely friendly and supportive of each other, even in business. Believe me, I know such people. They're all great friends and they're supportive of each other. And I have another take. It's a little bit of a romantic take, that I don't see things and I don't see the world through the lens of money. I can't because I'm an actor, I'm an artist, I'm a creative person, but I'm saying I can't be telling the business students that you shouldn't be seeing the world not through the lens of money. I'm sure it's all about money, right? Yeah, but then there's another take on it. I love to have opposing worldviews. In this world, you must have an opposing worldview. And that's what makes you unique. Mr. Murthy, Narayan Murthy, right? I interviewed him once. And I said, so when you started your company, and what was the philosophy, the mandate? So we had long discussions, he said. I don't understand business. मैं तो थोड़ा ठोकूंगा इधर. Large turnover, small margin. Sounds about right, no? Or small turnover, big margin. So, making sense somewhat? Junior, am I making sense at all? Yeah? Correct, eh? Correct? Thoda tali maar mere liye, darling. I love you. And this is what he said, which blew me completely, huh? Which blew me completely. Saying this was more or less, and then he gave me another example and another example. I'm listening away. Soon round, Mr. Narayan Murthy. So then I said, and everybody opposed me, but then finally we went for that. Forget about turnover versus margin, margin versus turnover. Let's go for reputation, he said. Where's money involved when you're talking about building reputations? And that's what even 3 Idiots says. Build a reputation and money will follow. I'm a believer in that. I cannot choose a movie because it's paying me more than the other one. I can't. Because that's the last thing that should be on your mind. And I'm telling you, chaps, you build your reputation. Believe me, there'll be lots of money. Don't think about it. It'll come. It's a little romantic. Yeah. Thank you. It's a little romantic. Yeah. Everybody thinking, Buddha, kya bol rahe? Usko malum nahi hai. Nautanki salat screen pe jaake karta hai. Hum logo aake business sikhata hai. But you know what? At least there's a kernel of truth in what I'm saying. Would you disagree with me completely? किसी को भी पास मत करना. ये ऐसे बिजनेसमैन आपने पैदा किए आप लोगों ने. No.
Okay, since you talked about Three Idiots, there's a question from, the students or one of the.
आपके questions खत्म हो गए?
Hi.
Professor साहब, I'm waiting. Huh?
You are doing good. Yeah. So
I'm doing good, right? hope you are, sir.
Sir, you already got us with an elevator speech and big revenue, small margin,
Right.
large margin.
I bullshitted my way through that. Huh? Anyway,
So
that's pretty good. I'm an actor यार. मेरे को ठोकने का आता है मेरे को. हाँ.
Okay. So any interesting memory that you have about Three Idiots? I'm sure you have plenty. So that's first part. The second part is, would you like to come here as a professor?
So today, what do you think I've come as? Huh? Virus. Kachra gaya na mera. Memories of IIM. So the first day I landed up at IIM, I used to wear my costume. We were in the room where I was staying. I used to do my makeup. I used to do my makeup myself. It's a process that I do. Take my time and do my own makeup. And, put those lines and look old. Not that I needed too many lines to look old. And I had a cycle waiting outside. I sit on the cycle and then and that's to walk around the whole campus. Because the first thing you learn in acting, know your space, know where you belong. How many years have I been teaching here? Was the question. What am I teaching here? How much of an authoritarian am I? Which I was. I was a damn fool. I pushed that Ali Fazal off the balcony here. Right? And Sharman too. Well, he went. What? I mean, that gives me nightmares. That stuff gives me nightmares. But so, and I used to just walk for hours in the passages. That is. For hours. This is Alec Padamsi's walk, huh? The great Alec Padamsi. You know Alec Padamsi? Yeah, he used to walk like this, with his pelvis out like this. I used to walk for hours because this is my space. You have to own the space. Remember, when you walk into a room, you take the stage, you own the space. When you become businessman, it's very important. A lot of acting and business in any other line is all very similar. One day I walked into a class and I stood over there. They didn't know who the hell I am. The professor, it was not this Saurabh sir, it was somebody else. Yeah. And I looked at him. What? I swear I did this. He said, yes, good morning, sir. He thought I'm visiting professor. What? And then everybody stood up. I said, this is working now. It's working. Then I went to the table, I walked, looked around, looked hard at people. And then I kind of played a little bit of a drums on the thing. How far can you push it? That's the thing. And this went on, huh? Good. Good. See you tomorrow. I played Gandhi in a play. Don't laugh. It's okay. No, laugh, please. First I went for rehearsal. Somebody in the audience, "Arey baap re, khate peete ghar ka Gandhi dikhta hai." So, believe it or not, I lost 30 kilos. You can see my ribs. I'm not joking. You want to see? I'll show you my ribs right now. No. Shut up. So when I played Gandhi, and I was offered to play, I performed all over the world. And I had become like a stalk. And I went to a friend, a theater artist, a Marathi theater artist called Sudhir Joshi. He was my partner for many years, 10 years in a play called I'm Not a Baji Rao. I went up to him and I said, Sudhir Dada, what happened? I'm getting to play Gandhi. Yeah, do it. Sudhir, काय म्हणतो? Do it. I said, Sudhir, I'm going to play Gandhi. Which Gandhi? By then I had already started rehearsing. Which Gandhi? I said, Mahatma. So, Payal, you're mental. I thought you were going to play Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan, Frontier Gandhi. You know Frontier Gandhi? He was some 6.5 feet taller than. And I said, oh God, have I made a big mistake? He said, "Kyun dar raha hai?" I said, no, I just feel saying, no, you know what? Remember, walk like Gandhi, talk like Gandhi, speak like Gandhi, do everything like Gandhi, but believe you're Gandhi. If you don't believe yourself, how are they going to believe? Same thing for business, right? If you're selling something or whatever, I don't know, if you're selling something, if you don't believe in what you're selling, you're just rattling up some information, that's not going to work. You got to believe. And that's the whole thing about acting. Acting is about lying. It's the noblest way of lying. Business shouldn't be about that. It should be, it should be telling the truth because you believe in it. You truly, only acting allows you to lie nobly. Business, you got to be really, really honest. I swear to God, when somebody gives me some spiel on something, and I say, what about that product? He's saying, that product has this one quality, which is excellent. However, sir, let's talk about my product. I value those people. And I will buy this product only. And then I see the person who's selling the product. How much does he believe in his own thing? What kind of a human being he is makes a big difference. And that's what I spoke to you about reputation. Reputation is good business. If you believe in acting makes you want to believe who you are. I mean, so you asked me the question about walking into IIM and believing. I believed I'm Professor Viru Sastrabuddhe. End of story. I walked on the stage and मेरी बाप की जागीर है. होना ही है ना. तुम लोग बीच में क्यों बैठे यार? जगह नहीं है. Feels good. Houseful. एक तो हाउसफुल हुआ बहुत टाइम के बाद.
Thank you. So, you explained to us just now how deeply you get into a role,
Right.
and that's very important. Now, however, you are still an actor, right? So after doing that, you go back and you become a person, right?
Right.
So the question is related to that how do you, get in and get out from that zone?
From the door, sir. और क्या? Get in, get out. Sorry, sir. I told you in the room. You don't mind? I'm going to play the fool a little. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So I mean, you got that, right? I mean, you get into a role, but again, you. So how do you do that?
Again, acting and any other profession. Being a professor, being a student, being a businessman, being a teacher, being a guy who's a security guy. This gentleman, okay. This man is doing a job, right? Am I right? You're from security, right? Sorry?
Bouncer.
Bouncer. And thank you, firstly. Thank you for your job, right? But he's not an actor, or he looks like an actor, but he's not an actor, right? But he is in some form performing. As I said, everything between acting and what you do in real life, it's all the same. He's standing like this. Ask him to stand like this in front of his wife at home. ऐसे खड़े के बीवी के सामने ऐसे, we all have to get back to our homes eventually. And when I say go get back to your home means you've got to be and find the truth of who you really are. That's it. सही बोला मैंने आपका नाम? Sorry? Pradeep. घर पे आप ऐसे नहीं खड़े रहते ना? Right? Exactly. So coming in and out of roles, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. I can't go. Imagine if I walked home like Viru Satrabuddhe. Imagine if I walked home giggling away like that idiot Dr. Asthana. Imagine. Because, and I'll tell you, the question is, and when you asked me the question sort of earlier, and you said this is probably one of the questions that I might ask you, actors love their characters. You know why? Does anybody know why an actor loves his character? Can anybody tell me? One person, put up your hand. Why does he love? Yeah. They found someone, they found a character. Okay, what else? Go, sir. Sorry? Multiple lives. All right. You get, okay, what else? Okay, same thing. There's one thing we are missing out on. Yes, dear. Okay, same thing. When they said nicely, everybody's making sense. Oh, you grew up so fast. What happened? For how long have I been talking, man? Time flies. Time flies. Yeah. So what do you say?
Opportunity cost. It's opportunity cost.
Okay.
So basically, you being into character because you want to show it to multiple people. It's not for you only.
So why would I fall in love with my character? All right. Don't get angry, man. Don't get. There is someone, somebody is not telling me the hard truth. आप गुरुजी बन जाओ sir. One second. He's wearing a tie on top of it here. One second, darling. He's talking. Wait, no. Sure. Okay. Everybody is right. I mean, I couldn't have said it better as an actor. However, there's one very important thing, and that we forget that. It's our ego. When we are actors, we get a lot of applause. And we get a lot of accolades. We get a lot of kicks also, but we ignore them. ठीक है ना? उसको मालूम नहीं acting क्या है, उसको मालूम. But when people applaud you for your work, you don't want that to stop. You're living on opium at that point in time. It's an intoxicating high. And you feel, my God, they love me. No, they love the character. They don't love you. To love you, they have to come and live with you at home. I'm not joking. This is the truth. They love the character. Your love virus. You don't love, maybe they do. No, you get what I'm saying. I'll tell you a great example, and this is a fantastic question. And again, it correlates itself to real life and other professions. I was doing a play with called I'm Not Bajirao. All right. I was playing a 75-year-old guy, and I have to say it was wonderfully done. I'm saying it humbly. It was a beautiful play. Two old men sitting on a park bench talking for 2 hours. I mean, it was a super hit. It ran for 10 years. Tickets were being sold in black. There were only supposed to be 3 years. There were 3 shows of 150 people each, but it ran for 10 years in 1,000-seaters for years and years. Now, the point I'm trying to make is that when we finally got up from the bench, me and Sudhir Joshi, the gentleman I spoke to you earlier about, we held hands like that and we took a bow. And the public would stand up and the tears falling down. And they're clapping and bravo and bravo and bravo. And it's going on forever. That's a job. It's a job. And then we would go out and everybody would say, okay, we'll see you. Achha, you don't want to go home. Huh? You don't want to go home because at home, the dust settles too fast, right? And reality hits you. And you want to live in that dream world. So we said, let's go and have a drink somewhere. All right, and we're all going. So I go out of the theater and I go to my scooter. And there's one guy who says, hey, idhar aao. Idhar kaun bola park karne ko? Huh? In my heart, I'm saying, but they're clapping for me inside. Why are you screaming at me? You know what I'm trying to say, guys? So if you are a big shot, well, khali office mein rakhna. And when you go home, you got a wife, a husband, children, parents, in-laws, friends, right? They don't give a damn what kind of a terror you are in the office. They don't give a shit who the hell you are in the office. They are the people who actually love you. And for me, that's a very important question. I said it in the room also. It's a very important question. You have to know when you put that little cold cream on your face, look in the mirror and say, yeah, that's me. Try not to live in that heightened room. Believe me, it's a big high. Sitting and listening to people react to every stupid thing I'm saying. And it feels so nice that young people still think I've got something valuable to say. And I go home and I'll go to the room and I'll call my wife and say, they're fantastic, they're superb, they love me, man. Who gives a shit? Because when you go home, I'm saying this in utmost seriousness. When you go home, you cannot stand in front of your wife and children like this. All the world's a stage and each man play a part, right? But just now, it's a job like anyone else's. And one more thing with the jobs, guys, you're going to make it big. I promise you. Look at him. He's made it big. He's made it big in no time. Right? You send him home. He got bored, right? You're going to make it big. What choice do you have? You will be. I mean, you're all motivated young people, intelligent people, right? I've seen the batch from 3 Idiots and I see the progress they've made over the years. You will be successful, right? There will be perks. Please be careful. Never let the perks of the job become bigger than the job itself, because then you're doomed. Don't take your job that seriously. Don't take those perks seriously. Take your job seriously, but enjoy it. Again, life is not a race. Okay. Thanks very much for listening to me.
So in 3 Idiots, there was this famous pen, which
Right.
you said that you will give it to somebody whom you found to be as bright as
So I'll give it to you, sir. I'm not joking. Because he disarmed me from the moment I came in over here. He disarmed me from the moment he's saying, don't worry, everything's going to be fine, fun, everything. And I said, can I make fun of you? Saying, absolutely. Everyone's going to love it. And thank you for being humble. And thank you for being sporting. I'm telling you, it makes a big difference. Otherwise, intelligent people know, you know how. Yeah. No. He's great. He's a wonderful, wonderful guy. So who do I give the pen to? I'd give the pen to each and every one of you, really. At least you're listening, thank God. So I want to give you a little anecdote about money. How money comes and how money goes. It took me, in life's a race, it took me a lot of time to start making some money. And at one point in my life, my mom's sisters, they all went off to Canada and my mom was missing them terribly. And I did not have a way to send her to Canada. for a visit to meet her darling sisters. And I had a want. I needed enough money to put on that plane, right? And I made, my bank balance was 75,000 rupees. I felt it was more than $1 million. That's 75,000 rupees. And I told Mom, you should go to Canada. I'm not going to Canada. My sisters bore me, whatever. She's joking. And I was so excited. I made 75,000 rupees. It was a princely sum of money for a guy who was broke all his life. This is when I was about 40, 40. And talking about timelines, right? And one day, there was a fundraiser somewhere. And I used to do events for an event management company. Say, please come. And there'll be a lot of rich dudes over there. And there'll be an auction. And just help by, I was not in the movies those days. Help by just putting up your hand every time there would be a little lull in the bidding, right? And Cyrus Brocha, it's his birthday today. He was the auctioneer. Okay. And so it would be for a golfing time with Kapil Dev. So 30,000. Now put my hand up. 35. Then Kunal Vijay could put 40. Then some rich dude will say 50. And this went on. I said, but what if when I put up my hand, they say sold. I say, no, Cyrus knows. They know who are the rich dudes, and what you're trying to say, you don't look like a rich dude to begin with. Anyway, so this region of 70, 75, sold. Wonderful, sold to the gentleman. Mera naam bhi kisi ko malum nahi. The gentleman, the tall fellow with a little tummy sticking out over there. Okay, put a hand up. Oh, that's very charitable of you. It's all for a good cause to the children of whatever. And I think, great cause. Oh. And here my heart is going because I could see my bank balance go like that. Gone. And now I have to go and tell the wife. It's damn difficult, right? So I went, I can't make you. And I can't go to sleep either. I have to tell her. They're broke, Zenobia.
What?
That why?
Sir, I've been married for 26 years. I know the stuff.
Sir, मेरी बीवी आपकी बीवी से अच्छी है फिर. So I'll act it out myself. He's scaring the shit out of me, man. Zenobia, what is it? What happened? What happened? Are you okay? Yeah. Yeah. What? Oh, what's the time? It's 1:30. What happened? Tell me, So, the 75,000 rupees we had in the bank. It's gone. Why? What happened? I said, we were doing the auction. And I put up my hand and Cyrus said, sold. Guess what Zenobia did? And she laughed and she laughed and she laughed. And she said, where does the money go? I said, to some kids' charity. So what's the problem? Money can be that ephemeral, So we can't put too much stock into money. Because she said, you'll make a lot of money. Don't worry about it. Buy me some nice jewelry then. I got stuck with that promise for the rest of my life. But you get my point, right, guys? Yeah. So.
A few questions from the audience. So, yeah. All right.
Oh, we'll do this in an organized way, all right? So if a mic can reach you, it would be nice. If it can't, just stand up and ask the questions. The gentleman with the black shirt. Right. Right. The moment you say we don't have the patience to try again, I think you've lost the race in any case. Life is not a race. I mean, we're going to qualify that. The moment, Haji. Right. So it's reminded me of something to say. But I'm just going to keep it tight over here, just to let you know. You cannot go through life without falling flat on your face. It's not possible. If life happens for you really easily, I don't think it's a life worth recounting. And it's going to happen. And you should always be prepared that things are not going to be the 75,000 rupees. Just I worked for years to get that money, and it's gone with one sold. It's over. What am I going to do? Say, no, forget it. Yeah, chodo na. Let's do something else. No, man, it'll make me work even harder. Now, Professor Saab has reminded me. I'm a teacher. I can't believe my school teachers will wonder this idiot became a teacher. I've been teaching online for the last 2.5 years now. Screenwriting. And screenwriting secrets are all about life secrets. As I said, one secret is about you must have a want. A character must have I want something, no matter how long it takes and how many times I trip and how many times I fall. Now I'm just going to run through a paradigm of a lifeline. I'm sorry, a timeline. It starts with an incident. It's called an inciting incident. You will have an inciting incident in your life which spurs you on to do something, right? Then you live in denial for a bit, and then you get onto the journey. That's the beginning of Act 2, right? And then you start going in. The greater the want, the harder the work. And it's a phrase that we've coined in class. It's called the Ratatouille Effect. You must be like Ratatouille, the character in Ratatouille. You know the story of Ratatouille? Right? Can anybody just stand up and tell me the story of Ratatouille? Yeah. The way he got right. 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 But why? So what's the catch? What's the catch? He's a rat. We're all rats. Right? So the point I'm trying to make is the hope and the want should be like Remy. Should be like the rat. A rat is not allowed in the kitchen. If a rat steps into the kitchen, you'll bang him dead. Pick him up by the tail and throw him in the garbage can, right? Right? But he had a want that was insurmountable. And that's what's happening, man. You can get the guitarist out, get a keyboard player, get a drummer, and play a song, but turn on that bloody phone, man. Yeah. So what are we talking about? Your dreams have to be insurmountable. If you say that, you know what I'm going to do, then nobody gives a damn. Nobody gives a damn. But if you are like the Ratatouille character, I'm a rat, they kill rats in the kitchen. Not only would I want to be in the kitchen, I want to cook your food. How is that possible? It's possible. When I heard the story of Munna by MBBS, I said, this is a shitty story, man. Vinod Chopra calls me up. Are yaar, kamal ki kahani hai, kamal hai. I said, kahani kya hai? Ek gunda hai,
सर वो गुंडा है ना, तुम्हारा गुंडा है, वो डॉक्टर बनना चाहता है.
I'd say it's the shittiest story in the world. Wrong. It's shitty because it's not regular. But it's great because it's like Ratatouille. The rat wants to be a chef. Similarly, I'm going back to the timeline. Please bear with me, okay? And then comes a midpoint where he achieves what he wants, but not in the correct measure. And the timeline continues where the bad guys close in and the action rises, and he gets success. And one fine day, tar comes falling back on his face. And it's called the all is lost moment. Now, that's a very, very big moment in a screenplay. Your life is not one screenplay. There could be multiple screenplays in your life, but there will be many all is lost moments in your life. And what happens in the all is lost moment is what Professor Saab is wanting to tell us. The next scene in an all is lost, in a movie, is there's an all is lost moment, and the very next scene is called the dark night of the soul. And the dark night of the soul, the character recounts his whole life. Why he wanted to be what he wanted to be, the journey, and he recollects his entire life. And then he says, it's over, but it's not over for me. And he gets up and he rises like a phoenix from the ashes. Every movie has the story, believe it or not. You have to apply it in your own life. You turn and say, you know, I fell on my face and it's over, and say, okay, go home. You won't have a story to tell your grandchildren. You know what I'm saying? So the dark night of the soul actually turns the whole story around in the third act, and you hurtle towards a satisfying climax. So never say, how do you motivate yourself? You should be motivated from the day you stepped into Act 2, when you step onto the journey. There's no way that you're going to fail, even if all doors are shut. You've heard of the Coen brothers? Yeah? Coen brothers taught my guru this, my guru who teaches me screenwriting. He says, you've got to make your character miserable. You got to put your character in places that he least would like to be. And at the end of Act 2, you got to make your character, paint him into a corner and say, how am I going to get out of this corner? You'll find the strength, my friend. You will, I promise you. But can't say that the game is over. Good luck. Yeah, next question. Yes, dear.
They should somehow not wait for the time to go on COVID. But you recently made yours, then you do. So is this just a superstar to have looking up phone?
Thank you for answering my own question. Thank you very much. I'm very grateful to you. I'm not being sarcastic. Thank you. Yeah, it's like when the movies came along, what happened to the theater artists? Right? Because no, please wait. Don't degrade theater by putting it on the screen. I mean, I'm sorry, I disagree. I'm sorry. I'll tell him that. I disagree. You know what happens? Do you know what happens with the OTT? People who are living in oblivion have a life now. Their dark night of the soul is over. I disagree. Thousands of technicians are working again today. Thousands of directors who were written off by this very industry are directing again today. Thousands of actors who did not get a peep into a producer's office have got jobs today. There are kitchens that are working all over again, especially after the pandemic. I'm sorry. But thank you for answering my question. Yeah. Whoever. उतने में तकलीफ हो रही है. Oh God, हाँ बोल. Yeah, go on. I'm listening. He's going on. I pace myself according to the animal that I am. As I said right in the beginning, my first statement was that I'll pace myself accordingly. So when I got married pretty young. I can't say now I have these dreams of becoming an actor and my children are going to be hungry. That's not going to happen. You pace yourself you cut your suit according to your cloth, they say, right? Yeah. And maybe for me, it works differently. Had I been an actor at the age of 25, I may not have been standing here today. My pace would have not allowed me to blossom the way I wanted to blossom, right? As a director, I think I'm making my debut as a director, as a grandpapa. Yeah. So I feel I'm at the right age to make my debut, but that's my life. And I will not have anybody tell me when to direct and when not to direct. Write your memoirs, write your biography. No, man, I've got too much still to do. Wait for a couple of years. You got to pace yourself according to how you want to do it and that's being an individual. But you have responsibility towards your wife and children and your family. I want my mommy to go to Canada. So I started chipping in and working. I've done all kinds of jobs. But I don't think I could have been able to change the timeline because that's the timeline that suited me. You have to follow the timeline that suits you. That's what makes you and me very different, right? Yeah, there's someone. Whatever, sir.
Yeah.
No. They've paid me a lot of money to do this, so I'm joking. I'm joking, boss. Huh? Someone's waving out from there. Yeah, we'll get to. So is saying one more. Bolo, bhai. Go. Arey, go na, baba.
Hey, it's not the same.
It's a completely different picture. It's a completely different picture. This is a striped lime green suit. This is a dark green. I mean, what difference does it make, man? I have two suits. ये भी कोई सवाल हो गया? You want to ask another question? आओ, चलो, बोलो, हाँ. Oh boy. So first of all, when I heard the story, I thought it was a rotten story. Then I thought of Ratatouille. Raju narrated the story to me, and I just loved it. Beautiful story. And comes my character, and Vinod Chopra on the phone told me, I said, "Mera role kya hai? Tu doctor hai?" Don't put this on Instagram, huh?
Boman, मैं ऐसे बात करता हूँ क्या? तू डॉक्टर है और पूरे पिक्चर में तू हंसते रहेगा.
अरे वेट यार, मेरे को बोलने देना यार. तू मेरे को परफॉर्मिंग मंकी समझता है यहाँ पे. रुक ना, मैं कहानी बोल रहा हूँ. Can you do that laughter? So I said, यार ये तो बहुत अजीब सा कैरेक्टर लगता मुझे. ऐसे कैसे हंसते रहता हो? एक पिक्चर आई थी बहुत साल पहले, वारिस करके. तो वहां विलेन जो था, sorry, I'm not fat shaming anybody, but like healthy है, nice healthy body, and he used to laugh without any reason. Sir, आपकी बीवी मर गई. तो ये कैसा कैरेक्टर? उसको जितेंद्र ने गोली मार दी करके मुझे वो याद आने लग गया. I cannot laugh without a reason. And I kept telling Raju, yaar, ye nahi jamega. I have to find a reason. Say, we'll do this laughter therapy. Laughter therapy is to overcome anxiety and hypertension. So I said, whenever I'm getting tense, I'll start laughing as a medicine, as a therapy. Then it's justified, and it doesn't work. Every time I'm crying and somehow it's a very difficult thing to do. I tell you, it's the worst, shittiest therapy in the world, because every day I would go home with a headache and more blood pressure than, before I started. So, but the spirit of the film was amazing. We didn't have any backers. We had no believers. The only believers we had was ourselves. And I tell you, you got to believe, really. We made the film in a record time, in a record budget, believe it or not. And the last shot, Munna Bhai, you are saying how Munna Bhai got made, was that of a Shadi ka mandap. हाँ बेटा बंद कर दे बाबा, बंद कर दे darling. Yeah. The shot of the Shadi ka mandap. And the Shadi ka mandap was costing the earth. All right? बंद कर दे बेटा, बंद कर दे. सब लोग आप ही तरफ देख रहे हैं. बंद कर दे. थोड़ा distracting. And we didn't have money for that. Can you imagine? This iconic movie, we've run out of money. So we call that mandap wala. इतना 2 लाख रुपया लगे. अरे नहीं, कहाँ से 2 लाख रुपया कहाँ लेंगे शादी का मंडप का? नहीं होगा. एक काम करो ना, आप किसी की शादी में घुस जाओ, फोटो लेके निकल जाओ. विनोद चुप.
अरे बहुत अच्छा आइडिया है यार.
Believe it or not, professor. बहुत अच्छा. So we go to somebody's शादी. Everybody's hiding behind the stage. Sunil Dutt Saab, Sanju, Arshad, director, Binod Pradhan, cinematographer. गया सब लोग. गया? ये देखना, बिरजू. गया क्या? हाँ, जा रहे सर. The Bharatis went home, we ran on stage, we took shots and ran away. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? One of the most iconic films in film cinema history was made with like a guerrilla movie. Think about it. करना है ना, want है ना अपने को, करना है, shot लेना है, कैसे भी करके लेंगे. So the experience was basically belief first, and then do what it takes, no matter what it is, no matter what it is. You just don't give up. The dark night of the soul was happening at that point, my friend. Never give up, right? आगे बोलो. बोलो, last question. बोलो अंकल. हाँ जी. सौरभ सर, मतलब मैं बॉम्बे से आया कि तू सौरभ सर से था. हाँ, नहीं मैं इतना भी बूढ़ा नहीं हूँ, प्लीज सर. आप सौरभ साहब को पूछ लो ना, उनको गया, तू गया सौरभ. आप अग्री करते हैं कि करियर रेस नहीं होना चाहिए?
बिल्कुल, एब्सोल्युटली
नहीं होना चाहिए ना.
नहीं होना चाहिए.
क्या बात है, मैं बड़ी, क्या बात है अंकल. मेरे आप सामने को डरता है क्या मेरे से? वो बात कर दे. हाँ सर, आप बताइए सर. यू वर सेइंग सर. बहुमन, ग्रेट माइंड. सर, I think different animals have different formulas. Honestly, I don't think it's a formula. I think it's a belief system. I don't think there's a formula. It's a belief system. I have so many belief systems, believe it or not. Whenever I feel that something's not working, I go back to the childishness that I held on to. And then sometimes we forget. We go back to the innocence and something comes about. Something magical happens. I've got cases and cases where things magically have happened. Magically. That's my belief system. Now, if I tell you that belief system, kya bakwas kar raha hai? I believe in it. Kare kya? Yeah. Sorry, yes. Arey yaar, tum log mujhe, main itna, how to define success? Success, okay, I'll tell you. Success is waking up in the morning. I've heard this somewhere, I think. Is waking up, my belief system again. I'm going to sleep at 9, and in between doing whatever the hell that makes you happy. That it is. Haji chokro bolo, professor. Self, sorry, come again, everybody. And that come again also sounded very bad. Anyway, go ahead. One second, we can't hear the thing he's saying. Yeah, go ahead. Self, sorry. Yes, of course. It's what you want, what you like. Getting paid for what you love, that's nirvana. Getting paid to do things that you would normally do as a hobby? Of course, it's very, very related to each other. Absolutely. Come on, stand up. Yeah, yes, you. I'm so glad. Say that again.
So, we can talk about India, where there is more than 130 crores of population and opportunities are so limited. Why shouldn't we take career as a
Oh, good question. I think that's a damn good question. You're going to race against 100 and, I don't know numbers. Say it again.
130 crores.
I'm really bad with numbers, by the way. How many billion? What? 130 crore, more than 130 crore. You really want to race against 130 crore people? I can't. I'll just be at a good momentum with myself. I can't be outpacing people because, as I said, there are 130 crores, right? See how bad I'm with numbers. I'm still standing here. How are you going to think that you're going to outrun 130 crore different animals? I'm saying this with respect. Animals are creations of God, right? You can't. You find your own pace. And I'm not saying you're going to be lazy. It can happen at the age of 17. Imagine Sachin Tendulkar found his calling at 45. Nobody would be interested in him. But he found it at 17. So everyone has their own pace, depending on the kind of person you are. You see, I don't think you want to give up on the idea of being in a hurry to succeed. You just pace yourself and you'll be happy, believe me. Because if you pace yourself and it doesn't happen at the time you want it to happen, you're setting yourself up for great disappointment. Just go for it, man. Enjoy it. Be in the zone, be in the momentum. Keep going, keep the energy going. Don't drop the energy. But don't say, at 21, I'm going to be, nahi hua to kya hoga? I made my first meal. I made my first 5 rupees when I was 19 years old. Go for it. Oh, I charge extra. I charge extra for that gun. Sorry? Why is there a need for social validation? You see a photograph of someone, some well-sculpted dude, and you spend your whole year trying to be like that dude, like the 130 million people. You're not going to be that guy, man. I mean, you can. Look at you. You're looking like, yeah. I'm not going to be that guy. So social validation, am I going to look at that guy and want to be as handsome as him or as beautiful as that girl? It's not going to happen. Are you going to spend all your energies doing that? You're going to find all your energies doing things you want to do for yourself, not for other people's validation. I'm last question.
Okay, he said last question. Go ahead.
I don't understand. Honestly. I would say find your passion. What's ongoing in the world is trends. I don't believe in that. I really don't believe in that.
I think we will have to close. Ladies and gentlemen, let us respect the time, right? We have already overshot the time, and this ceremony the festival has to close.
Yeah.
And there are people who would like to stick to time. So thanks to all of you. And I hand it over to the auditorium.
Thank you, sir, for such an engaging session. I would like to thank Dr. Raghunath, Mr. Irani, and Professor Mukherjee for taking out the time to be with us here today. So if we may, we would also like to present a token of our gratitude.
I'm waiting for that only. Before I go, you finished your vote of thanks?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, I want to say something, and I say this. Encourage your teammates, encourage your children, encourage your older brother, encourage your younger brother, encourage your sisters, encourage your friends, and everything. Encouragement goes a long way, right? My mom, who saw some kind of talent in me, always used to encourage me. Just leave the house, even as a grandfather, when I used to go to work or come here, she would say, "Sparkle, sparkle." She would say, "Sparkle," and it used to make me feel so good, because my mom, who passed away this last year, age of 94, encouraged people. Don't put down people. Forget about competition. Encourage your competitor. That's what happened with me. All right. And you're talking about money, and you're talking about race, and you're talking about all those things. I used to go home after an event, and my mom would, when I left the house, she'd say, "Sparkle." And when I would go back the next day, she would ask me what all happened, who asked what questions. One kid grew up suddenly and married. And I would give her the whole lowdown. I would sit for an hour and talk to her over a cup of tea. And then she'd ask me 2 questions. And to me, those are the 2 questions that matter when the years go by. They're the only 2 things that matter. A little bit. How happy are you? Are you happy? I say, yeah, very happy. For me, it's a big thing. Did they show you love? She'd ask me that question. Yeah. I would say, I'd say yes. And they show you respect. I say yes. So I'd like to thank you all for allowing me to tell my mother for the love and respect. Thank you. That's all that matters. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, it's time to end Vista 2022 on a higher note. I would request all of you to settle down. Sir, can you please wait for 10 minutes for the closing ceremony?
Ceremony?
So we have with us today Professor Srinivasan, chairperson of the flagship course PGP at IIM Bangalore. Professor teaches the strategy in the strategy domain at IIM Bangalore and has several textbooks on strategic management. Welcome, sir.
Welcome, sir.
So I would like you to say a few words about Vista as a whole.
Wow.
So this must be the ultimate torture, right? After having to succeed.
No, not at all. I was waiting for you to speak, sir.
Okay. Okay. So I really like him. He likes to encourage people, right? So about 2 days ago, I was again in the same place. I was giving this guys a lot of gyan about what to do in the 2 days, what to learn, how the world is changing, and how Vista is organized. And I was telling this audience about how art, cinema, education, business come together. And Vista was a confluence of all of this. The last 2 days, I have been walking in and out of few events. This Vista has had entertainers, has had in the garb of entertainment, gave you enough gyan. I don't think anybody could have matched Mr. Irani's gyan at the end of it, and the emotional this one. And there are a lot of other things that happened around here. Not just this event, but a variety of other things, the competitions. There are possibly so many young people, right? And they actually had these young leaders, right? The wireless people, put your hands up. These are people who are not master students. These are people who are young leaders. They've been chosen. And congratulations for all of you to be here. Let's put our hands together for these young leaders. And some of these will grow up as fast as this thing with the environment. The kind of exposure that this event has been able to provide to these young leaders, the kind of exposure that this event has been able to provide to our students, our community, that I see a lot of our colleagues. And this is one of the few years, I don't know if it happened long ago, but in the recent history, we've had every event, every speaker being moderated by a faculty. We got young faculty, we've got new faculty, we've got old faculty, we've got experienced faculty, we've got even retired faculty. Thank you, Professor Raghunath, in every of these events. And it's been a great learning experience for all of us as faculty, as an institute, for visitors, for students, for the community as a whole. We've had spouses, we've had children, we've had a lot of people having good time. We've had speakers from Deloitte, from the World Bank, from the world of cinema, from the world of performance, entertainment. We've heard a variety of people, startups, entrepreneurs, from the smallest of enterprises to the second largest mining company in the world. We've had all of them in this event. And as the name suggests, the team has dreamt, dared, and hopefully delivered. Thank you.
Now I would like to call upon Purva Singh, Secretary of Vista 2022, to say a few words and close this ceremony officially.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you, Professor Raghunath. Thank you, Professor Saurav, and our guest, Mr. Boman Irani. Vista was different. It was bigger. It was better from last editions. It was offline after 3 complete years. We experienced Vista. Our expectations were not only met, they were exceeded. It is a 50-member team with 30-member volunteers. I would really like them to please stand up. Guys, these are the people who made it all happen. Made it all happen. They worked day and night for this. Thank you, Director Sir, who cannot be with us right now. Thank you, our all faculties who helped us throughout the months. This has been a 5-6 months of hard work that has been consolidated in these 3 days. I would like this moment to thank my family who has always supported me, cooperated with me. Our seniors who we have called day and night, anytime, in any situation. And thank you all for being a part of Vista. Thank you. Let's close Vista. Thank you very much. Please exit from the back gate. No, not you, sir, please.